I'm not really seen as dangerous or a criminal or a thief.
Hi, welcome to the Black Experience Japan's Melanated Files. My name is Ranzo, and the purpose of this series is to highlight the Black people living in Japan. Who are they? We share their stories. Remember to find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the Black Experience Japan, and subscribe to this channel for weekly videos on the Black Experience in Japan. Let's get into the interview.
So my name is Jordan. I'm from the DMV area of the US. What drew me to Japan was coming up on all the normal stuff like manga, anime, Naruto, One Piece, Yu Yu Hakusho, things like that. What drew me to Japan initially was it was just by chance. On a whim, I applied for a job here. My father was walking by one day and he asked me how the job hunt was coming, and I told him it wasn't going so well. And he said, "Why don't you look for a job in Japan?" And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I don't know." And an hour later, I found a job, and about 3 months later, here I am. That's pretty much how it happened. If my father would have said anywhere else, I probably would have gone anywhere else, but he said Japan, so I went with Japan, and it was a good decision. I am an English teacher. I work for an eikaiwa, and I've been here for about 2 years now doing that. And so far, it's been pretty good. It's challenging, it's tough. It's not what I expected at all, but it's rewarding, and I definitely enjoy it. What I'm really pursuing on the side when I have time is music. I'm a rapper. I know everybody says that. I know everybody wants to be a rapper. And because of that, for that exact reason, I decided to come to Japan to pursue music. In the United States, especially people from my neighborhood, they all kind of do the same thing. They rap, they freestyle, you know, but they never really go anywhere with what they're doing. So I just decided, if I'm going to do this and commit to it, I have to separate myself from everyone else who's doing the exact same thing. So I had to make a drastic change, and I had to make a drastic move. So I figured if I come to Japan and pursue music here, meet different people, grow as a person, maybe shoot a video here and there in a nice spot that 9 times out of 10 people from my hometown will probably never do. I just feel like that's a great way to separate myself and just stand out from everyone else and get noticed and get on, and you know, have the success that I be dreaming of, you know? What do I like the most about Japan? I would say 2 things. I would say the food, most definitely, is drastically different from what I'm used to. My favorite food is takoyaki. But yeah, the food and just the sense of peace. It's very peaceful, and I feel I don't have to look over my shoulder. I don't have to worry about people wilding, getting mugged or robbed, or just people wilding in general. It's a good feeling to walk out any time of night, walk down the street any time of night, and not have to have one hand on my wallet, one hand on my phone or anything like that. I can leave my bag somewhere and it won't get snatched. It's just good to have that peace of mind. What do I like the least about Japan? This is gonna sound bad, but I would say, this isn't necessarily bad, but I would say the work life is definitely different from work life in the United States. So yeah, I'd say that's what I like least about Japan, but it's not really a bad thing. If anything, it helped me grow as a person. My Black experience in Japan has been full of ups and downs, I'd say. It's been, well, compared to life in the United States, I'm just surrounded by so many people who look like me. You know, it's easy to blend in and, you know, kind of fly under the radar. But here, I stand out, especially with my hair like this. I get criticized a lot. A lot of people will, like, if I meet a girl, sometimes she'll ask me about my hair. Sometimes, actually, I met this one girl. The first thing she said when she met me was, she touched my hair and she said, "What are you doing? You should cut your hair." If I were in the United States, you know, Black people tend to get profiled by the police. I don't really get that here. I don't really get any negative emotions or negative energy towards me being Black. If anything, people are interested. If anything, I'm not really seen as dangerous or a criminal or a thief or violent or loud or boisterous. I'm none of those things. And here, I kind of have a blank slate because a lot of people in Japan don't really know. I don't want to say they're ignorant, but I would say the idea of the black man is what you see on TV, you know, the rappers, you know, the stereotype. And when people meet me, I can kind of prove that stereotype wrong, you know. And that's nice to be able to show people who don't have a very good idea or a very good grasp about black culture. You can kind of show them what we're really about. And we're not all the same. We all have different vibes, different goals, different things that make us unique. We're not all just pushed into this one category, you know? The thing that always cracks me up is, like I said, I'm a teacher. So when I first came to Japan, I had a really low cut, a really low haircut. And as it grew into an afro, my students would always be interested in it, wondering why my hair is up and not straight and why it's so curly. And they would always, sometimes they thought it was funny to take a pencil and like just shove it into my afro. And like they would make a game sometimes. They'd take as many pencils as they can and just put them in my hair and see how many they could stick up there. And yeah, I think that's funny. Seeing how people react to your skin tone or your accent or your hair, seeing people's different reactions and how they receive you is definitely the most entertaining thing about being in Japan, because it's never boring. It's always a different reaction, whether it's positive or it's negative. It's definitely something interesting, definitely entertaining to see. This is gonna sound cliche, but the best life advice I have received would be just to, you know, do what makes you happy, regardless of whether or not it's hard or it's scary. Like I said, moving here has been hands down the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was the biggest adjustment. And like I said, I don't believe I mentioned this, but I am not fluent in Japanese at all. My level is very, very beginner. And just moving here and having to jump through hoops just to accomplish the simplest of tasks has been very humbling. I would say rewarding, most definitely. I know we can all get wrapped up in the pursuit of, you know, money and status and just, you know, chasing that bag, like everybody likes to say. But it's not always about making that money. It's not always about the crib, the car, the shoes. It's about doing something, pursuing something that makes you feel good inside about yourself. You need a purpose. Find something that makes you get out of bed in the morning. And it doesn't have to be a job, it doesn't have to pay well, but it has to keep you going. So if the world was listening to me and I had one thing to say, I would definitely say, definitely stress that life is short. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know how things are gonna turn out. And just because one door closes doesn't mean one door won't open. You know, before I came to Japan, I tried many times to apply to the Peace Corps. And I actually applied to them 4 times and they said no every single time. And if they hadn't said no, I wouldn't be here right now. So I would definitely stress that if the world was watching and I had one thing to say, don't be discouraged. You have to go through the struggle and just keep your head up and stay positive. And as long as you do that, things will most likely turn out all right. Any advice I have for black people who are looking to come to Japan, definitely before you get here, any preconceived notions you might have, just clear them out of your head. Just come here with an open mind and understand that you are different. You look different. You are a foreigner. That's what you are. You have to understand that everyone isn't going to see you as you see you. You have to understand that people are going to have comments or have thoughts or judge you before they even meet you or even talk to you. You have to understand that your appearance carries a lot of weight before you even open your mouth. And I would definitely say, just be patient, you know, be ready to face the challenges. It will definitely humble you. You will grow as a person. Dating life in Japan, I would say it's definitely got its pros and cons. As far as meeting a girl for the first time, she might have these preconceived notions of you. You know, you might, like me, myself, I look the way I look. I got the dark skin, I got a couple tattoos, and I got the dreadlocks, and I usually got the hat on. Well, I am a rapper, but 9 times out of 10, they're gonna ask me if I rap. They just have they expect you to be something that you may or may not be. And Sometimes it's well received, sometimes it's not. I get a lot of stereotypes, a lot of questions regarding whether or not black people like chicken. You know, I love chicken, you know, but sometimes it feels a little weird feeding into the stereotypes. But in regards to dating, I find that women either really like me or they just don't, you know. I feel like the black man is a preference, an acquired taste, you know. You stand out a lot, you're different, so naturally people will be a little more interested in you. You'll get a lot more attention. I get a lot of attention. Sometimes I'll just be sitting and like a woman will walk up to me and strike up a conversation. That's nice. I don't always have to be the one pursuing. As far as cons go, like I said, sometimes people will just judge you. Sometimes people might not, since you're so different, since we just look so different, sometimes people don't necessarily like someone who's so vastly different from them, you know? So you have to come here and understand that people just might not like you because you're a foreigner, because you're black, because you are who you are. And sometimes that might be the very reason they do like you, you know? It's just a dice roll, really. You just gotta take it how it comes, you know? But my experience so far has been pretty positive, pretty well received. Catch me on Instagram. That's probably where I do the most engaging. Instagram. My Instagram is CFJ out the way. I tell these people it is what it is. Aim to live and let live. With a lifespan that's steady growing thin, praying God forgive.
Thank you so much for watching. If you or someone you know would like to be featured, send us a message through our Facebook page or Instagram at @TheBlackXJP or via our website, blackxjp.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.